King Harald has returned to take the throne, and has Ivar lost his mind? What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to We Sibs, West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we talk about your favorite movies and TV shows. Yes, another day, another episode of Vikings. This is going to be episode 13. We're going to talk about everything that went down. This is going to be a review, recap, biggest takeaways all rolled into one video. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss as we cover the entire season. Be sure to leave a like. That lets me know you want more and you want it quicker. So let's dive into it. Starting off with Ube, Otair, and Flatnose as they make their way back. They can't even stop arguing amongst themselves. There's so much deceit and deception going on. I doubt that all three of them are even going to make it back. Now, in my last episode, I talked about the 5 candidates for who could be the new ruler of Kattegat, and obviously I missed one. We'll get to that later in this episode. But Ube, even despite not even wanting to be king, it doesn't seem like he has much of a chance of doing that anyway, now that King Harald has arrived on the scene. And side note, we got a huge disappointment. Remember the giant sea monster, Jormungandr? Correct me if I'm saying that one wrong. It was just a figment of the girl's imagination, at least we think. Nobody else seemed to be aware of it except the little girl. But I was expecting some kind of fight, some kind of something, but that was disappointing. But now that I think about it, it is making sense, as that monster looked incredibly realistic. I mean, super ultra real. They probably would have blown the entire season's budget making a full sequence with that monster. So it was nice to see it, but it was still a letdown. But I digress. Anyway, on to King Harald. King Harald has returned. Now, we knew that he escaped when he and King Olaf had been captured by Prince Oleg and his men. We don't know how he got out, but he got out, and he made his way to Kattegat right in time for the election. Now, this was between Gunhild and Ingrid. It looked like it was going to be a pretty tight race, and Eric had still not claimed who he was supporting, at least as far as we know in this episode, but he did discover that Ingrid was a witch, trying to, I don't know what she was trying to do. That was a pretty disturbing sequence. Maybe somehow she was trying to ensure that the baby was indeed Bjorn's, or endow him with Bjorn's essence or something like that. I don't know if there was a little doubt in her mind maybe as to who the child was, but she was pretty confident that it was his child. So I don't know what all that was about, but it didn't seem to work, because not only was the race so tight, but then we got a new arrival, King Harald, who says that he's turned over a new leaf and he wants to be like Bjorn, but we all know that this is probably foolishness. King Harald is about as ruthless as they come, so you know that if he doesn't get his way, he is going to take his way by force. That's what he does. And with his new person, Kanye, I'm just kidding, Scani, this huge big dude, looks like he belongs in the NBA. He's kind of the enforcer of all of King Harald's plans. So I'll have to wait and see how this turns out. Also, quick PSA, try and stay offline, as Amazon Prime did release the entire second half of the season. So there are some major spoilers, and if you don't want those, pretty much just stay tuned to here, as there will be no spoilers in my episodes other than the exact episode that I'm talking about. So as of now, we'll have to see who ends up being the ruler of Kattegat. And from there, let's move to the biggest part of the story. It is escape day for Igor, and how could Ivar be so dumb, so stupid? It's a classic Samson and Delilah situation. You really think, Ivar, that after giving her all this information and telling her you're waiting on a knife, that she just happens to have that knife from Prince Deer that you were waiting for this entire time? Really? She wasn't even a part of the plan. She had to ask you what the plan was, and now she's manipulating that information to get you to jump the gun early. Prince Deer and his forces are probably not ready, but now, on the simple word of Freydis, Ivar has moved the entire plan into motion, putting at risk the entire plan, but his life, Igor's life, Fitzurk's life, and we had talked about Fitzurk in the last episode, how they would have a little bit of a rivalry, but in this episode they quickly resolved it and were able to work together, easily being willing to betray Oleg at a moment's notice. But I do think it was even more of a risk that Ivar was so transparent with Fitzurk about Oleg's feelings toward him, as Fitzurk is still fated to kill him. And what I think is going to happen, and this is my big prediction, all this is going to backfire. Freydis is still very much in Oleg's pocket, I believe, and when all this backfires, in order for Fitzurk to save his own skin and not be killed by Oleg, Fitzurk is going to have to kill Ivar, fulfilling that prophecy that he will be fated to kill his brother. So yes, still very frustrated after an entire season of masterful strategy from Ivar. He just trips at the finish line in fantastical fashion, and I think it'll cost him his life. And probably Igor as well. But guys, those are the biggest takeaways from episode 13 of Vikings Season 6, Part 2. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Also, leave a like on the video if you're liking the video, and share it so we can grow the community and enjoy our favorite movies and TV shows together, guys. If you're feeling dope, check out our sister channel, the Lara Quente Ledger. I've got some more content over there involving music, tech, video games. It's a whole network. So go head over there. Links will be in the description to everything, as well as more episodes here on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I said that so many times. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.